Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at completing the square. I'm going to teach you how to complete the square. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is, let's first read the question. So it says, write x squared plus 8x plus 6 in the format of, or the form of x plus a squared plus b, where a and b are constants. Okay, sometimes they use the word constants, sometimes they use the word integer, it just means whole numbers. Now, in order to do that, all we have to do is we have to halve the coefficient. So let's halve this coefficient. And when we halve the coefficient, we put it in the format of x squared, because over here we have an x squared. So if I was going to halve this, this will become 4. Now this will be x plus 4 squared. Now if I was going to expand this bracket, I would get x plus 4 and x plus 4. Okay, so x times x is x squared, x times 4 is plus 4x, x plus 4 is plus 4x, and 4 times 4 is plus 16. Okay, so if I was going to simplify that, you get x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now you can see that we have an 8x over here and we have an 8x over here. So we've just partially got there. Now, I'm just going to compare both of these expressions. I have x squared here, I have x squared over here, I have x plus 8 over here, I have x plus 8 over here. However, over here I have plus 6 and I have plus 16. So when I did complete the square over here, and if I was going to leave my answer like that, I would get this format, but this is not correct because I need to get backed into this expression over here. So what do I need to do? Well, I look at this plus 16 and I need to get to 6. So I know that I need to subtract 10 from this expression. So that means I add in minus 10. So that means if I was going to expand this bracket and I take away 10 from it, I'll get x squared plus 8x plus 6. Okay, so if you're asked to complete the square, so it would be x plus 4 squared minus 10. What you can do is you can check up to see if this is correct. So let's expand the bracket. I've got x plus 4 minus 10. So let's expand that. If I was going to expand that, that would be x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16 minus 10, and that would give me x squared plus 8x minus, is it minus? No, positive 6. That is the same as this expression over here. So this is the complete the square format. Okay, so you could be asked to work out the turning point. So what is exactly turning points? So turning point just tells you the minimum or the maximum part of the graph. So it gives you the bottom part. So it could be here or it could be right at the top. Okay, so this is called the minimum. This is called the maximum. So they give you 3 names for this part over here. This part over here that looks like a symmetry. It could be a vertex. It could be a point, turning point. And it could be also the minimum point. Okay, so if they ever use these 3 names in the exam, it just basically means complete the square and work out this point over here. So if I was going to work out the minimum point or the vertex or the turning point, I would have to use, solve this just how you usually solve it, to equal it to 0. So that will be the opposite, minus 4. And you just take this number over here, which is minus 10. So that is your vertex, turning point, and minimum point. Okay, and in the exam, you could be asked to sketch this. Now, if you are going to be sketching this, it would look something like this, because this could be your minus 4 and this could be your minus 10 over here. Okay, so in the next few minutes, we're going to look at more questions which are similar to this. And yeah, so let's practice. Okay, so here's a question over here. Write x squared plus 12x minus 1 in the format of x plus a squared plus b, where a and b are constants. Okay, This just basically means complete the square. Sometimes they use the word complete the square, or sometimes they say to you x squared plus 12x minus 1, put it in this format. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at this. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, you know that complete the square has the format of a bracket and a square over here. So can you see that? Now you have a positive, so you have a positive and you have an x because x is written here. Now what's half of 12? Half of 12 is 6. So I have x plus 6 squared. If I was going to expand this, you don't necessarily need to expand it, but I just need you to see something. So x plus 6, x plus 6. So you have x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 36. So you have x squared plus 12x plus 36. But you don't want your answer to be plus 36. You want your answer to be -1. Okay? So you have to say to yourself, how am I going to go from 36 to become -1? So I will do x squared plus 12x plus 36 minus 37, because that will give me -1. So if I was going to do this, it will be x plus 6 squared minus 37. Okay, and you don't necessarily have to do this method of expanding the bracket and trying to figure it out. You can do another method, which is, if I just look at this, so I got x plus 6 squared. I can do 6 squared, which is 36, but I subtract 36 because I know I'm going to get 36 over here. So I don't need 36, I'm going to subtract 36. I can see that there's a -1 here. So I'm going to stick -1, because if I have plus 36 and I subtract 36, that leads me to a 0, this vanishing. But I need -1, so I stick -1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this. So that will be x plus 6 squared minus 37. Okay, so this is quite long. You can do this method over here. All you have to do is square this number over here, which will give you 36. And then you subtract it, or you can square this number. It doesn't necessarily have to be 6. It could be a 4. 4 squared is 16, so you can minus 16, and whatever we have over here, you can stick it on here. It could be a +1, it could be a subtract 1, but you just add it on. But always remember, the 6 or whatever the number is, even if it's a positive or negative, you square that, but you subtract it because you want to remove it. If I was going to ask you to work out the turning point, what would the turning point be over here? Well, you get the opposite of this, so which is -6, and you just take this number over here, which is -37. Okay, so well done if you did get that correct. If you didn't, please please pause the video and re-go over what I've just taught you. Okay, guys, pause the video and have a go at this question over here. And yeah. Okay, so you probably paused the video of how to go with these questions. Let's go through the answers. So you got x squared minus 6x plus 2. Okay, as I said, the first thing is you got squared here, you have an x here, and this time you have a negative, so you're going to add a negative. What is half of 6? That is 3. Okay, now what is 3 squared? That's 9. So I'm going to minus 9, because I know that if I was going to expand this bracket, my final answer will be something x squared minus 6x minus, would be a minus? No, it would be positive 9. I need to remove that positive 9 because I need a plus 2. So it will lead to a 0. So I'm going to add 2 on because that's what I need. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this over here. So I have now x minus 3 squared minus 7. Now if I was going to find out the turning point, I would look at the opposite of this, which will be minus 3, and I will take minus 7. And if I was asked to draw this, I would draw a rough sketch, and I would make sure I look at this, and I could see that it's going to be minus 3, minus 7, and that will be somewhere around here. Okay, so the next question over here, I have x squared minus 3x plus 7, and I want to put it in this format. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is half that. So you got x minus 1.5 squared, and I have plus 7 over here. But I know that I need to subtract 1.5 squared. Okay, so if I was going to do that, it's going to give me x minus 1.5 squared. And if I was going to square that, that will give me plus 7. So let's work out what's 1.5 squared. So 1.5 squared gives me minus 2.25. And now I'm going to simplify that. So that x minus 1.5 squared, 7, subtract answer, which is positive 4.75. Okay, so well done if you got that correct. And if you never got that correct, please do check where your mistakes were. Okay, guys, so now we're going to step up our game. We can see that there's a 3 now over here. So if I have a 3 over here, it's going to be the same thing, except we need to remove the 3 because we are used to seeing completing the square where there is no number in front of the coefficient apart from 1. So the first thing we need to do is factorize. So I'm going to put 3 outside. I'm going to put a big brackets. Okay, so I'm now left with x squared. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is, if I'm going to take a 3 out, I'm going to do 3 divided by 18, which is plus 6x, and this will be minus a third. Okay, and if I was going to expand this, it will give me this at the top. Now we're used to seeing this over here. Can you see? So now all we have to do is complete the square from for the expression inside the big bracket. So I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to do half of 6. So that's going to be x plus 3 squared minus a third, because the minus third is over here. What's 3 squared? That's 9. So I'm going to subtract 9. Okay, now I'm going to simplify this. So I have 3, and I have x plus 3 squared. So you've got minus a third, take away 9. Okay, so let's put that in our calculator. Minus a third, subtract 9, which is minus 28 over 3. Okay, now if I was going to expand this bracket, it will give me this expression over here. But don't forget, we took a 3 outside. Now, in order to remove this big bracket over here, all we have to do is basically expand the bracket. So that means you're going to multiply 3 by 1, because there's an invisible 1 here, and 3 by minus 28 over 3. So if I was going to do that, I would get 3, and I would get x plus 3 squared. And if I was going to expand these two, I would get these two cancel out, which gives me minus 28. Okay. Now, if you're told to work out the minimum or maximum or the vertex, again, it's the same thing. Don't get confused. Just because there's a 3 here, it doesn't change nothing. You're going to solve this and equal it to 0. The bracket inside, so that will be minus 3. And you're going to take this minus 28. So it will be minus 3 minus 28. Okay. Now, if you don't believe that this is correct, what you can do is expand this bracket and see if it gives you this over here. So let's have a go at that. So let's have a go at this. So I have 3, I have x plus 3, I have x plus 3, and I have minus 28. So the first thing I'm going to do is expand that. So I'm going to take that. So that's x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9 minus 28. So I'm going to expand this now. Sorry, I'm going to simplify that before I do that. So I've got 3, I have x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 28. So expand this. This is 3x squared plus 18x plus 3 times 9, which is 27. Subtract 28. So I'm left with 3x squared plus 18x minus 1. Okay. So that proves that this method does work, okay? So don't forget, the first thing you need to do, because you have a 3, place big brackets, factorize everything. After you've done that, we've seen this before from the previous examples. Half that, so you get x plus 3 squared, and then minus the third because it's there. Square this number inside and subtract that, because if you were going to expand it, you would have had plus 9, but you don't need plus 9, you need minus a third. After you've got that, you've got a 3 in the outside. In order to get rid of the big brackets, you need to expand. After you've expanded, you're left with this answer over here. So you're left with 3x plus 3 squared minus 28. Okay, that would have been your answer. Okay, so guys, pause the video and have a go at this question. So write down 2x squared minus 12x plus 23 in the format of, or the form of a x plus b squared plus c, where a and b and c are constants. Pause the video and have a go at this question. Right guys, so you probably paused the video or had a go at this question. So let's quickly go through this. So you have a 2x squared minus 12x plus 23, and you've been asked to put it in this format. The first thing I want to do is get rid of, well, not get rid of the 2, but factorize this. So I get x squared. So I get x squared minus 6x plus 23 over 2. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to half that by 2. So I'm left with x minus 3 squared plus 23 over 2 minus 9. Okay. After I've done that, I'm going to do x minus 3 squared, 23 over 2, subtract 9. That leaves me with positive 2.5, or, yeah, well, 2.5. Okay, so after I've done that, I'm going to expand this bracket. If I was going to rewrite that, I will just write it as 2x minus 3 squared plus 5 over 2. Now I'm going to expand it. After I expand it, I get 2x minus 3 squared plus 5. Now your vertex is going to be, or your minimum maximum point is going to be 3 and 5. So guys, here's another question over here. Write down 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 in the format of, or the form of a x plus b squared plus c, where a, b, c are constant. Draw the sketch of the graph and show your turning points. I'm just going to spice things up because all the numbers that we've had so far are positive. So I'm going to stick a negative over here. So I'm going to do I want you to complete the square for minus 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Let's see if you can do this one over here. So pause the video and have a go at this question over here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the 8. Oh, well, I'm going to factorize the 8 as well as the negative. So I'm going to take the minus 8 outside. I'm left with x squared. This sign over here changes to a negative. So whatever was positive will go to negative. So it'll be negative 10 over 8. And then it will be positive 3 over 8. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to halve this coefficient over here. So I've got minus 8. I have x minus, so half of 10 over 8. So you can do 10 over 8 divided by 2, which will give you, so 10 over 8 divided by 2 would give you 5 over 8. So I'm going to do minus 5 over 8. And I'm going to square that, and I have plus 3 over 8. Now remember, I need to subtract the square of this. So I need to do 5 over 8 squared, subtract it, okay? So I have 3 over 8 minus 5 over 8 times 5 over 8, which will give you 25 over 64. So it will be minus 8 x minus 5 over 8 squared plus 3 over 8 minus 25 over 64. After I've done that, I need to simplify this part over here. Okay, so I'm left with, so let me just do this. So I'm left with minus 8 x minus 5 over 8 squared, and I have plus 3 over 8 minus 25 over 64, which gives you minus 1 over 64. Let me just place my big brackets over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this bracket, so you're left with minus 8, x minus 5 over 8 squared, and I would times that by 8, which you're left with minus 1 over 8. Okay, so that would be my answer. Actually, minus and a minus give me a positive, so that will be a positive, and that would be my answer. So if I was going to ask you to sketch that, so let me just remove a few things. Actually, I'll do it here. So the minimum point will be 5 over 8 minus, sorry, not minus, 1 over 8. Okay, so if I was going to do that over here, I know that it's going to be a positive 1/8, so we'll just do that. And then I would write my coordinates over here, which is this over here. Okay, so well done if you got that correct. If you didn't get that correct, I suggest you go through my video again and see where you went wrong. And thank you very much for getting this far. Please do like, subscribe and share. And if you have any other ideas or videos that you would like me to do, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Well, thank you.